All right. So Luba yesterday did 6 consultations with Ukrainian women who are struggling to find a man. And I just want to point out here that these consultations, they are paying for, right? Guys call us for consultations. Now women call Luba for consultations. And if you're in our Telegram group, link somewhere down below, you would have seen what she was doing. So I thought this video today would be very interesting to talk to Luba about what these women are struggling with, because when you know how useless they are when it comes to dating, it makes it a little bit easier for us
It's
as
not
men.
about them useless. I mean, actually, those ladies, you know what is interesting? I want to say that all these ladies that are calling, they're absolutely different age. So I got calls from the ladies who are 28, and yesterday was a lady who is 53. So there's not like only old ladies or only bad looking or like overweight or anything. Like really ladies that absolutely I would take as a client. Some ladies already living in the United States, somebody in Europe, somebody in Ukraine, like different places. And what is interesting is that those ladies are really good for our database. So I would definitely take them. And some of them already are, some of them just planning to be. So it's not just some random girls that I just like want to do the consultation and forget about this. 99% of these girls, like I would accept to the database. And their struggles in modern dating when they do it like through the apps or like trying to meet guys, as you always mention, guys, she's already in Europe, she can easily go on a date. Date is not a problem. To find a date, no problem. One button. But the rest, like the continuing, is really depressing.
Yeah, I just say here, I just thought of that movie that's got Mel Gibson in it. You know that movie where he can read the minds of women? Do you know this movie?
Yeah, old one.
Yeah,
I wasn't born.
yeah. So I was about, I think, 55 when it came out. But this in this movie, he can hear the thoughts of women. So the reason that we tell you these is so that you understand what they are thinking. And it's contrary to what you may believe if you watched a bunch of videos about why, what women want in men, and we sort of seem to believe that women have it easy, on easy street.
Yeah,
And the
absolutely
men
not.
men are the ones that struggle. Yes, men struggle, but also this is an insight into actually the mentality of women and what they're experiencing on dates. And I don't think that any of these, maybe some of them are a bit, we need to question, unrealistic, whatever. But we'll get to that because I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. So buckle in.
Okay. No, the first and the biggest problem is that girls go on a date and the guys here in Europe with no shame, with no, like they say, so did you finish your coffee? Can we, well, how you taught me to do?
I didn't teach you to whistle.
Like, let's go boom boom or what? And the lady is like sitting, she came, she dressed nice, she put on the makeup, she wanted some deep, meaningful
The
conversation.
intent was different for the date. So
No,
she wanted to look for a relationship, and maybe he was just like, oh yeah, hot Ukrainian girl. I just
yeah,
want
but
to.
like what is interesting for me is that I think that on the West, like guys a little bit like they can't do it. And here in Europe, are they doing that only because it's Ukrainian girl and she doesn't know her rights and she can't report him to police? But every single lady, like the lady was telling me yesterday that she said like very pretty, like super stunning, like lady. She's a bit older, like long hair, blonde, like pretty. Like oh, I really enjoy talking to these ladies. Um, just saying. And so really like they give me so much like power and so much energy, so much interesting stories. And she like very pleasant, very nice lady, and she said like I just love reading on the bench, like reading a book and eating ice cream. And so she said like it wasn't even one time that I was just calmly sit on a bench and like somebody would not come. Said maybe you should like avoid ice cream, maybe the way she's eating it.
Maybe she shouldn't be sitting on a bench in her underwear.
I don't know, but she said like the guys are just like here, especially in Spain, they over sexual, like how to say that?
Yeah, they're
They
too forward.
very forward, very forward. And doesn't matter married, not married, with child, are you with 3 children? Like for them, it doesn't matter. Like they want result fast, and it's not about long-term relationship. It's not about building anything. It's not about romance. It's just boom boom or not boom boom. Not boom boom. Okay, bye.
That's interesting because we know like in the West, say United States, if you approach a woman, it could go one of two ways. One is she could be receptive to it, or one she could just absolutely just tell you to get lost, or one she could take it as an offense, depending on how her brain has been reprogrammed by society. I don't know if that is here, that whole Me Too type movement, if that is in Spain or Europe.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Like I don't know the answer to that question. So they don't really have, maybe they don't have the same rules or the same caution when it comes to
I'm also
talking to
very
women.
curious about that. Yeah.
And the other question to ask is, do they act the same way to a Ukrainian woman as they do to, say, a Spanish woman? Because how do they view a Ukrainian woman? Because if they view the Ukrainian woman as, you know, a hot refugee who will do anything, right? Then the approach, I guess, for certain types of guys, would be different, right? And maybe it's that the guys that are approaching do have that intent to, oh, she's a poor Ukrainian woman, and, you know, maybe I can just have sex with her, and that's the end of that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just dealing the cards here. I don't know.
I don't know, because the one thing that I can say from my experience is that guys are very forward here. No matter, like, if you even talk in some place that you would not expect that type of conversation, and also like all their jokes are a little bit down the bottom, you know, like even like
what? Tell us one.
Like, I know that some of these people watching our channel, like, somehow they find it. No, it's like they're always making fun, even like when we're with kids, you know, like some like event, and like always a little bit posh jokes, you know, like
Posh? Posh.
like sexual
Sexual innuendos.
content, no, context, yeah, sexual context.
But
Like
how sexual? Like,
no,
because
something like, you know, like for you, I'm available from 11:30 to 12. Like,
yeah.
my room is like, we were staying at one resort with Kyiv, and like
But how do you know it was about sex? Maybe it was about, you know, consultation. Maybe an accountant. So anyway,
no, that is very offensive for the girl. What I can say for the girl who is looking for a serious relationship, that is very offensive.
These
Because
guys, yeah.
nobody wants to be. Maybe he was really looking for consultation. I invite you to come and meet in Chicago in person. October 11th, me and Striker are going to Chicago to meet with you and answer all of your questions. We're going to have a little bit of a coaching session there, Ukrainian lunch, and we'll talk about modern dating, and we'll help you to get to understand Slavic minds a little bit better. To get more information, link in the description. See you.
But I think it's also that these guys have absolutely, like, the guy could absolutely get her to go home with him and go to bed that day.
Not in that way.
No,
Not in that way.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand what's going to, like, make a woman be interested and get to the point where she is sexualized, or she looks at him in a sexual way, and that she would do that. He's just like, he doesn't have time to waste.
Yeah. Yes.
But he just doesn't have the knowledge to do that. He just doesn't. And maybe he does it 10 times and he gets one yes, and then it works.
Statistic. I don't know, and then they have no dating desire. It's number 2 what I hear from the ladies. So they don't want to date, they don't want to do anything romantic, they don't want to go somewhere, they don't want to plan the date, and they all about like this 50-50, and there's no romance even at the beginning, what is like very strange. Like you know, we discuss with girls a lot, like this 50-50, because some guys, like our clients, they never say like, I want to leave 50-50. They want to lead, they can provide, they understand that the lady will be moving to a different country. But these guys, they just like, they literally looking only for sexual partners, basically, because he doesn't want to invest in his woman. He doesn't want to do anything nice for her. Nobody buying flowers. And the ladies really like, she's like, one lady was telling me yesterday how she went with one guy to a spa resort like for 2 days, and so she's making good money, she works in an IT company, and so he said, so like for her, she was thinking that he will set it up, but he said, okay, I will pay for the hotel, you pay for spa. And it was, she said like, okay, it was more or less fair, because the spa was 200, the hotel, and like for one night, and like the spa was 60 euros, and that was fine. And then they was going to the dinner, and she took his shirt and she started to iron it. And at that point he was like, she said like, it was funny how he like looked at me and said, what are you doing? She said, no, I don't want you to go in a wrinkled shirt. And he said, like, I'm 47, and any woman ever, like, you know, ironing my shirt. And so maybe the guy,
so that was a good thing or a bad thing?
It was a good thing, because I think that at that point he realized that, yes, this is a different woman. Like maybe Spanish woman or German woman just would not do it. And so that's why they live like a partners, you know, partners as the equal partners. So like, you care about yourself, I care about yourself, we meet in the bedroom, boom boom, kids, and like, you know, we keep going our life, because they're pretty cold, you know. So I don't know, but when they see the value in Ukrainian lady, then they realize that, she's really different. But they don't they're kind of lazy. They don't want to look for that. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I want to say that. I don't want to generalize. Like, we don't have clients like that. But this is something that I hear from the ladies, and I try to understand why guys acting like that.
I think what it comes down to is it's expectations of what the partner should do. So if it can be from the West, it's not from Spain, just that we live here, we're just talking about that. But it could be from any country. The expectations of a woman has been cast by society. A woman should be this. Okay, then I expect that. And if she's not that, it's strange or different, right? And it's the same with your society as well, or your, how you were brought up, is that the man should be like this. And if he's not, then there's something wrong. It's not one is right or wrong. Like, I'm sure if you dated a man who lived like in the Amazon jungle that had never had any contact with the Western world, his expectation of you would be very different as well. You would have to sharpen the arrow tips or something like that. But that's just the way it is. It's just the expectation. And I guess that's the thing about matchmaking.
This is mentality, and this is cultural differences.
Yeah, and I think that over time, cultural differences change. Like if you went back to the 1950s, even in Spain or Europe or where, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a lot different. It's just that what we grew up in. I don't think there's anything right or wrong. And you can't, and these women cannot say, it's bad that he goes 50-50. It's just that where he's from, he goes 50-50. That's the way you do it.
But the ladies are not, what is interesting, Ukrainian lady, and I would, nobody can prove me wrong about that. And I know that some guys may say, yeah, I've been giving everything to my wife and she was not appreciative to that. And we have to do this video about the basic needs and basic covers, remember?
Basic
No, but what I'm trying to say is that, the lady, when she's in comfort, when she doesn't need to worry about she needs to raise a child or she needs to pay 50-50 and also she needs to this and that, she really wants to give a lot to the man. If there is a healthy relationship, what I'm trying to say, the lady will always want her man to look good, to smell good, to
work hard,
to work hard. She will be she will giving him a good sex and everything. But when there is the guy is expecting a masculine role from a lady, that is what the European guy is expecting, then it just won't work. She can't be a woman. So and then they're upset, or maybe they're not upset. I don't know. I just see that this is a problem for Ukrainian ladies. So the video is about the struggles that Ukrainian ladies experiencing now living in Europe and trying to find serious relationship. But the biggest problem is that those guys, and I believe, is that when we have a client, we don't have a client who is not interested in Slavic culture, because he already searched for that, he researched for that, and so he decided, I want to find a lady, not in the West, I want to find a Slavic lady for whatever reason, maybe because he read something about that, maybe because he just curious about that culture or anything, but there is some seed planted, right? He knows something. These guys, they don't know basically anything like the European guys that they meeting on Tinder or anywhere else. But the big problem, they're not even curious about that. The ladies mentioning that the guys, they don't care. They don't want to learn. They don't want to get anything. And so that is a struggle. They try to tell them, we have a culture, we have this. They don't care. They live in their culture and they're very, very conservative. And I believe that a good guy, or the guy who is maybe have different values, I don't think that he would, in Europe, especially when they're so, for example, here in Spain, they're very religious, right? They will marry probably Spanish lady. They won't marry, even though they may struggle about that, I don't know, but they will not marry.
But I think for some guys, it's comfortable to marry,
foreigner.
It's comfortable to marry in your own culture.
Yeah.
I mean, we have guys that apply to come to Heart Rocket who are Muslim, and we're but why, your values are so different. It's impossible for this to actually work, So it's we can't take you. It's just, it's never going to work. I think that sometimes, we don't know, because the guy that approaches a woman on a park bench who's sitting in her underwear for some reason, that's in his nature, maybe that we don't know, because everybody is so different. Every individual person is different. And maybe he just approaches women and he just doesn't care and he just wants to, have a good time. So we can't say that he's clueless. It's just that that's what he does. And he's he's only interested in that. There's nothing wrong with that. And there are women that are only interested in, taking the man's resources, for example. So there's all different types of people. And sometimes people categorize a certain culture or country or even men and women into one category. And this is the biggest problem with the manosphere, is that it categorizes women into one category. or men into one category. So it's about trying to find, someone that aligns with your values and what you're looking for. And unfortunately, the woman who's sitting on the park bench in her underwear, the guy,
He was not sitting on the underwear.
the guy that she probably wants to be with is probably too worried to talk to her, or is too doesn't have the confidence to speak.
That's
to
why that's why the girls coming to the agency. That is the biggest reason, because they understand that the premise is already there. The guy came to us because he wants to find a woman. He's serious, and the lady is coming because she doesn't want to sit on the bench in her underwear.
Yeah, or even go to the club in Poland and have shots off her belly. It's like we all know, like if you're going to a club, if a guy's going to the club in Poland, he's not going there to dance to the latest house music, right? He's going there to pick up chicks, right? So the women understand that as well, and they're willing to get free drinks, and maybe they get drunk and then they have sex. There's no, trying to find out if it's a good relationship.
To go to the right place. For the ladies, like when I give my consultations, like of course I understand that I won't be able to introduce all of the ladies. We now have more than 2,300 ladies, and I don't know, Vika, poor Vika, like there's about 500 applications is just waiting for her on email. But she's like Vika is our manager who helped me with my assistant with the profiles. So she's sitting, and every girl, like she sent the documents, extra questions, everything. And so like the process is longer, like it's very long actually. And so what I also see and what I hear, not see, what I hear from these ladies is that guys they're not looking to self-improvement at all. And I think it's wrong. It's wrong not just for the lady. It's wrong for him that he doesn't want to do anything for him, because especially here in Spain, they're extremely relaxed. I love this country. We live here, but people are extremely unambitious. For them, maybe because the taxes are so high, so there's no desire to make a lot of money or like to have like anything flashy. Everybody happy with the $1 beer at the bar, sitting there all day long. It's all about communication, love, and very, very simple lifestyle. And maybe it's not bad, but Ukrainian lady always looking at the relationship as a growing path, not like going down or like death line. They're looking for men to improve, to grow together, raise children, or build a business together, or travel, or have some ideas. And when the guy doesn't show that, doesn't represent that, it's of course very discouraging. I think like that's why like I adore working with our clients. Most of our clients are American and like Western guys, and I see the desire in them, and I see how ladies inspire men, and how men every day become better, or like he's curious about that. Everybody in Rocket Club learning Ukrainian, they asking questions, they doing ascent. So I see that those guys that these ladies are dating, unfortunately, they don't do anything. They literally coming on a date only to have sex, and that's it. There's no more, like there's nothing more to that. It is maybe answering the question also why the ladies are coming to the agency.
Yeah, I think I just thought of something then, is that in Spain there's no real competitive behavior. Nobody seems to be outdoing each other. In the United States, I think there is competitive behavior. I think in Ukraine it is on the top level of competitiveness. And I think that's why there are certain industries in Ukraine, like say IT development, software development, stuff like that, AI, like it's like some of the best in the world. It's because it's so competitive. You have to fight to get somewhere, right? Because of the history of the country. Whereas in Spain, it's kind of like people are just like there's no one has to compete. The men don't have to compete with each other. He just says, let's go, girl.
Even
on
the
bench
women are not competing. In Ukraine, everybody needs to look better
Exactly.
and better than other.
Yeah.
And here's like, even I'm like how you call it, white pigeon. Like
The white pigeon.
What?
I'm going to call you that from now on.
White pigeon is like when I come somewhere.
The pigeon, maybe a different bird. Maybe like a dove.
Crow.
A pigeon is like a rat. I call it the rat of the sky.
No, like how you call it, like when the person is very different.
Black sheep.
Black sheep. We call it white crow.
Crow.
Anyway, like when I wear like my dresses, and like I always wear heels, and so everybody like, I don't know, like are they judging me, like the ladies, or they're like
Yes. Okay, what's next?
No, like, and also like what I hear, and that is a big difference from our clients, is that guys here in Europe are very undecisive. So, and I'm not saying like about everyone. I again only saying about experience of the ladies that I talk to. Of course, I'm sure that the ladies who are with decisive men, with the guy who is self-improving, who is romantic, they're not calling me. So we have to understand that, right?
Yeah.
But the majority of the ladies, and again, those are not like low quality ladies. They're very, very good. And I, as a matchmaker, would absolutely take them on board with Hard Rocket. And what is interesting is that I have clients that I have in my mind, our main male clients. When I talk to those ladies, I sometimes even do the video during the call on my phone to send it to the client, because I know that it's exactly what he's looking for. She tell me about your values, she tell me about your desires, and I know exactly that he will be very excited about her. So that is like little update about what did I learn on my consultation. So not what they learned, but something that I learned about modern dating and why they struggle. And maybe, and as I said, like that is why they're coming to the agency, because they just literally want to understand that, of course, there should be attraction, there should be desire, there should be chemistry, but at least there is a guys who are seriously looking for a long-term relationship and not one night stand.
Yeah, the reason why we tell you this, right? Maybe you think it's like, okay, well, whatever, who cares? But the reason Luba's telling you, because this is the information that she's got from these women, and it's kind of interesting. I want you to know this because there are so many men out there that have these self-limiting beliefs. A woman is not interested in me because I'm too short, or maybe I don't have enough hair, or whatever it is. There's these beliefs that you put within yourself, and you fail to realize that women have more insecurities and more self-limiting beliefs than what men do. All men have to do is realize that a woman is struggling with dating, and it all goes away. And when you watch these manosphere channels, you put women into a category of like up here and you're down here. And this happens all the time. And I did this as well. So I fully understand this. But it's not like that, okay? So there are some women that are extremely confident, and people always talk about, oh, they have their asses out on Instagram or whatever. You're supposed to see those photos on Instagram because they're making money from that.
And also, when you watch one, you will definitely see more. This is how I got the dog. It was like...
Yeah, of course. It's like anyone says, it's all full of girls with their asses out. Just look at a few of them. The rest is all asses out, okay? So Instagram is giving you what you want. So stop looking at them, whatever it is. So, but I just want you to understand that these women struggle with trying to find a man that would treat them well. It's that simple, okay? And if you can do that and take care of yourself and have some drive within yourself, within life, to better yourself and improve yourself as a man, it's easy. It is absolutely not a difficult task at all. So anyway, so that's what Luba learnt yesterday doing 6 consulting courses. She was supposed to have 7, but she forgot about 1.
Thank you. It was important. I forgot. It was like I would not be able. It was too many ladies.
Yeah.
They're different. Like it's interesting, and I understand you guys. Just quickly want to say, I understand you guys, and all I understand is that the lady, her main idea and main role in life of man, she needs to give them power, desire, and energy. And when I talk to some ladies, like one lady, oh my God, she was incredible. She was wearing, like, they watch my stories, they watch my coaching, and they are very scared of me. Like, apparently I didn't know that. And she wear like an incredible pink dress, like everything here, like like blonde, oh, like really super cool. It seems like I'm into women. No, I'm not. But really, like a lot of respect, to ladies who are coming to my consultation dressing nice. And she even say, because I told them never do the barefoot photos, and she said, "I'm sorry, I'm
what?
Barefoot photos."
Why can't you do barefoot photos? I never heard of this.
I said so. And she say like, "Lubachka, I'm barefoot, but here's I'm showing that we're in sleepers."
Take that filth-ridden slipper away from me, please.
Like, she said, what?
Nothing.
She said, like, here, I have heels here. It was funny. Yeah, in the office, like, we have a rule that we're changing shoes, Striker, right?
I always do.
Yes. Just like that's why I'm sitting in the pink slippers. Anyway, and so what I'm trying to say is that after one consultation yesterday, I have to be honest, I didn't take her. I fell asleep. And we had a call with a client as well. And Striker said, like, "Why you look like that?" Like, because I started the call, I'm like, I literally, like, she kind of like a sucked energy from me. And I understand that guys can't be with a woman like that. Like, I was like, she was okay. And she was not negative, but just like boring and very like, and I sat on the couch and I realized that I just like woke up 30 minutes later. So I understand, guys, what kind of ladies you're looking for. I get it. After 16 years, I know. So trust us. And
that's an interesting point. Is that when you're speaking to someone, You're either taking their energy
Yes.
or
Or sharing at least. I like to share.
No, not sharing. You're either giving energy to the conversation or to the interaction, or you're sucking it. It's black or white, ones or zeros.
No, I disagree.
Okay.
I think that you give me some energy and I give you more.